Hi everyone, welcome to Potluck Food Talks. Today we have a very special guest. It's my cousin, Walter Sidoravicius. Being my cousin, I've known him since I was a little baby. But just recently he became the third Venezuelan in history to get a Michelin star, which is quite an achievement, with his project Omakase by Walt, right?
Omakase by Walt.
And I'm also here with my homie, Phil, as always.
Hey, congratulations, Walter.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we are super happy about this. This was a huge, fantastic surprise for us.
Yeah, like I was not expecting it at all. First of all, because I thought like that your project was more like a private dinner hidden place more than a restaurant that could actually get a Michelin stars, like from the basis or of the recognition.
Yeah.
So it was quite a surprise. I was like, what? What is this?
For me too. So I think we saw the last year a few clients, few customers, they start to say, look, and the Michelin star inspector already came. And the Michelin star already say something. The Michelin say what? I don't think so.
And you were not even thinking about it.
I think the concept is not the concept of the Michelin star in Spain, because I think, for example, in Ibiza is just three Michelin starred restaurant, and it's a restaurant with a table and with a sommelier, with one waiters per person per guest, and this is a type of Michelin star that I think is here in Spain. No, it's not like Asian. In Asian, you have amazing street food who have a Michelin star. No, it's a different.
Yeah, I was recently in Singapore, and I visited two places that had a Michelin star and were street food hawkers.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, like it's nice, and I understand that these places have Michelin stars because in one case they invented a new type of noodle soup, and the other one also something like really historic. But like if you put it on the same level, I think there are a few pincho places that could have a Michelin star as well in Spain, like here in San Sebastian.
Exactly. It's what I was thinking about. Here in Spain is a lot. In Andalusia, you have amazing tabernas or tascas where you eat amazing food every day, the same amazing dishes, or in pincho place in the north of Spain. And this deserve a Michelin star too. So that's why I was thinking my concept maybe it's not like the concept they looking for, no? Like with a sommelier, so many waiters, so many huge, elegant service. It's an elegant place, but it's a very minimalist, very small, very Japanese. It's the Japanese proper way not to service omakase, sushi, and Japanese food.
Exactly. Tell us a little bit about your place. First of all, what is omakase? I think we've talked about omakase on the sushi episode.
I think we touched on it, yeah.
So omakase means trust in the chef hands. So it's where the chef is free to choose the menu he's going to prepare, and always is looking for represent the season of the year. And in washoku or in Japanese food, it's very important to represent also when it's one season, so the beginning of the season, the middle of the season, and also the end of the season. No, and I think the omakase is where the chefs choose the menu, depend what part of the season they are. No,
it's always sushi, right?
Omakase can be a tempura place, can be a yakitori sukiyaki place, and omakase is this concept.
Okay.
So it's not really a print menu. It's you don't choose. No, it's a tasting close menu. No, for say something.
Yeah, I recently visited omakase in Singapore. It was quite nice.
In French kitchens, you would call it like a carte blanche. Basically where you just go somewhere and you completely like give yourself up to the chef, and it's like a experience, like a surprise,
Exactly. I think it's part of the beauty of this experience. No, the people don't expect nothing. Doesn't expect what we are going to service. And also my concept is a mix of a speakeasy place with a omakase. So I think it's a double unexpected experience.
Exactly, because that's what I heard. With my aunt, she went to visit, and she told me, yeah, the entrance is like a garage. Like you don't expect, like you enter like to a house, and suddenly you're in like this beautiful sushi bar.
It's like a storage. Yeah.
With it's only 12 seats, right?
It's 10 seats. We start with 8 seats, and after we put 10 seats. Yes.
Okay, and how many guys are you in the kitchen?
We are Jonathan is my right hand in the kitchen, and Francesca is the waiter. We are 3 only.
That's awesome.
Super cool.
3 person for 10 person per day. Only one service. Yeah.
And what about the drink offer? Do you have like only sakes and teas, or is there anything else? Or
yes, I try the people going more for the sake choice and not drink more to wine or champagne. For example, I don't offer champagne. Here in Ibiza, champagne is serving, I think, in all the restaurants around the island. And I don't want to serve it because it's not really Japanese. So I prefer they drink a sparkling sake, for example.
I had a sparkling sake recently at the Wakan.
Okay.
In Singapore, in Kuala Lumpur. It was super nice. I really, really liked it.
Yeah, little by little is that. It's that for the beginning, the first sparkling sake I tried was very sweet, but nowadays it's more like
it's really nice,
more dry sparkling sake, and it's getting, I think, a little bit better. No, up here in Spain, maybe in Japan they are very good. And yes, we offer no alcohol drinks, tea. I think tea is a very good combination, very good pairing also with the food. And we offer kombucha. We have a person here in Ibiza. She makes amazing homemade kombucha. Japanese beer. We have a selection of 7 different sake. Every night we select the sake if depend the menu. But if the people want to drink more than 7, we have 20 different sakes. And also we do a selection of wines. We have like 5-6 different wines as well, who pairing with the food too. But it's like this. So I prefer the people feel like they are in Japan. So when you are in Japan, it's not. There is nowadays a wine selection, but not. It's more like sake, soju, Japanese drink selection.
Super nice.
This is the idea.
So I'm talking about Japan. If I am correct, you first learned cooking in Spain, then you went to Japan. If I'm not wrong, you went to a sushi contest in Japan, and you became finalist, right?
Yes. So for the beginning, I studied in the Culinary Institute in Puerto La Cruz in Venezuela, where I was growing up. And after I moved to Madrid, I started to work in the proper way, like in a Japanese restaurant, like a sushi chef. And after this, I was missing the sea place because I growing up very close to the sea, and one I get a very good relation with a bartender. He's my friend nowadays, and he's from Ibiza, and he say, "Look, why don't move to Ibiza? Stay in my house the first season to try, and maybe you will like." So it was the best decision I made in my life. So I moved to Ibiza. I started to work in a type of beach club. It's a huge, famous beach club where is a part of the kitchen is a sushi bar with a seven chef. And I was working with a chef from London. He's a very good professional. Nowadays he has his own restaurant in London, and he inspired me to move after the season in Ibiza to work in London in some Japanese restaurants. So I work in a Japanese restaurant in the winter time in London. In summer, back to Ibiza again. Next winter, I moved to Australia, working in a big restaurant compared with Nobu, where I meet Sebastian Pincheira. We was working together in this.
I didn't know you worked together. I knew you went to school together, but not that you.
No. We worked together. I think almost 12 years ago, something like. And yes, in the same restaurant. I remember very very busy restaurant, like 500 guests per day. Very good quality, very good product, very nice Japanese chef. but super busy slave place.
Actually, Sebastián Pincheira is someone who I was expecting to get a Michelin star. The first time I went to his new place, I was like, okay, this place could easily get a Michelin star at some point, but I never saw this about you, like it's crazy.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's something you cannot, I don't know, it's very difficult to know how they choose and how it's coming. And after this, I back to Ibiza again for the summertime, and I decided, look, if I really want to know about Japanese food, I think I need to move to Japan. So for Australia, I get working holiday visa, and I start to look if I can find the working holiday visa to Japan. And so I moved to Japan, and I start to work for the beginning in a farm. It's a kind of association of farms called WOOF, where you work 5-6 hours a day and they give you accommodation and food. And the good things, they have the rule who say in the end of the day, they need to teach you some Japanese culture like calligraphy or the instrument or the language. So for me, it was a very good way to introduce myself in the Japanese culture before to start to work in a Japanese restaurant.
That's amazing.
After this, I made my Dekishu, my CV, with a Japanese friend help. And I went to very traditional sushi place like Kimura, Saito, Sugita, Jiro, this very top level famous chef.
Do you recall any memorable experience in these places? Because I remember once we were drinking and you were telling me about this place that they counted the exact amounts of grains in a nigiri, and the way they would let it fall into the table would make like an impact in the pressure of this kind of micro
details,
like micro awareness of each nigiri.
Yeah, I remember for me, one of the chefs inspired me a lot is Sushi Saito, because I think I already watched all the videos and all the articles about Saito. And I remember one thing is amazing from the chef when he put the piece of nigiri on your plate and how soft is the rice, how airy is inside of this bowl of rice. When he put on your plate, you can watch the fish is going a little bit down, no? And you don't need to wait too much, because more you wait, more pressure make the fish to the rice. For me, it's this level is the master level now, and inspired me a lot.
You worked in Nobu Tokyo, right?
Yes, finally I get the job in Nobu Tokyo. I remember I give my CV to the manager, and he was a very tall guy, looked like Yakuza, old style Japanese without hair. And he said to me, "This is not the Japanese way to give me your CV, You need to send first an email or a letter by post, and after we answer if you can come to give us the CV or not." I say, okay, sorry. And he said, "But I know you are not Japanese, so give me your CV." This day I get a short interview with him. And after this, I get another 3 interviews, 1 per week. So the next one was with the head sushi chef, the other with the head chef, and after the 4 together until I get the answer. So I think they was a little bit worried about I was the first foreigners who joined the kitchen, no? They asked me things like, "You have tattoo? If you have tattoo, you cannot work."
Okay.
Also, you need to shave your hairs in your arms and all these kind of things, very, very strict. So maybe Nobu looks like very modern restaurant and Tokyo very modern city, but I think they respect and they keep very traditional, no? In some point. It was an amazing experience. I worked almost 1 year for Nobu Tokyo. The first 3 months was very, very hard, very complicated, because I was the only foreigners who works in the kitchen. And all the dish I finish and give to the waiters past so many scams, no? The first scan from the waiter, the second scan from the manager, and the third scan from the daughter of Nobu, because she is in charge of the restaurant. And after these 3 scans, is finally going to the table. was a huge pressure.
Wow.
But amazing.
No, Tokyo has what? Like two stars.
No, they never get.
They never get a star because I think the one from London made 2 stars.
One from London, he get one Michelin star.
Exactly.
I think it's not a concept they want to keep Michelin.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there is one that opened recently here. I haven't been there.
Okay.
In San Sebastian. Yeah, there's a new Novo. It has been open like for 2 months. But I have a rule. I visit a new opening after it's been open like at least
1 year.
6 months.
Okay.
Exactly. 1 year.
Well, for me, 1 year.
Yeah, it's smart. You don't have to be the tester of the mistakes of the restaurant. Exactly.
Yes, it's like this.
And what about the contest? What's the story behind that sushi contest?
So I remember working in Nobu Tokyo. Is coming one supplier, and he gave us a paper with the publicity of this contest. And the contest is they looking for the best sushi chef around the world. The best from America, the best from Spain, the best from England, and after they choose from many other countries, they make a big contest, international contest in Tokyo. So all the chef was lovely. Ha, ha, ha. You can do. I say, okay, why not? I will try it. So why not? And yes, was fun. It was the most important for me was taking fun about this and meet so many chefs around the world with the passion for the same things and be the first, be finalists. It's like, okay, it's maybe not too important, but the important thing was know all these people around the contest. I think it's most important for me.
What did you have to make at the contest?
So the first day you need to do 15 pieces, 15 traditional sushi pieces in one plate. And they check, they weigh how you do, they weigh how you got, of course, your technique and your creativity as well. No? And this is the first contest. And the next day you make a dish with 15 different pieces about your type of sushi, about your fusion.
Your own style.
It's like your own style. No?
I have a question before you go on. You said like the traditionals, they value your creativity, but what is creativity and something traditional? Is it like a little twist, your own?
Exactly. What type of, for example, some chef make nare sushi. Nare sushi is very, is the beginning of the sushi, no? Or oshi sushi, of pressed sushi is typical from Kansai area, no? So they are traditional.
Yeah, these ones that are rectangular, right? This square.
Exactly. So this is what I mean with the creativity, no? Is find a different type of traditional sushi in 15 different pieces.
Okay.
You can make nigiri, you can make sashimi, you can make hosomaki, you can make futomaki, you can make...
you can choose the 15 is your own choice.
Exactly. But
okay.
All of these pieces need to be the traditional way.
Super traditional.
It's like Edomai style sushi. That's what they want.
Interesting.
Yeah, and the next is just your creation, your own creation. And it was very good. I was the number 6 on the beginning, and after I passed the number 8, I didn't understand why, but that was very interesting. Very, very nice to meet all the suppliers, because the supplier was the sponsor of the contest, and all the chef was very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Japan, visiting the fish market. I've seen every time you travel there, you visit the markets. That has to be amazing. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Wow, for me, the fish market or suki market is like a Walt Disney. No, it's like it's like for the kids Walt Disney. For me, it's the suki market. I think never other place in the world have a fish market like this, no? Is the freshness of the fish. Most of them are still in life. The variety of the fish, clams and seafood are amazing. How huge is this fish market? Is incredible, huge. I remember the first time I've been was very early, and visit all the tuna parts, all these fish, and you get sushi like breakfast as well.
Nice. That's so nice.
Delicious sushi. And outside of the market and around the market is another market, no, with a lot of street food, a lot of great seafood making in the grills, and grilled hotate or grilled scallops, and just a little bit ponzu sauce or dashi broth and things. And it's wow.
That's super nice.
It's amazing.
Super nice.
Yes.
I also remember I was living in Bolivia. I don't know if this was maybe later, but I was living in Bolivia, and I was talking with you and with Phil at the same time. And we had like a lot of time without talking, like maybe more than a year with both of you. But that day I was talking with both of you at the same time. And you tell me, yeah, I recently finished studying at the Basque Culinary Center, and now I'm in Japan. And Phil, and I was like, oh, that's crazy, because my friend Phil, he just, he was working at Mugaritz in the Basque Country, and now he's also in Japan. And he's working at Ryujin. And you tell me, oh, that's crazy, because I'm just going to Ryujin right now to have dinner. And I was like, what are the odds? You know, like, this is so crazy.
That was amazing coincidence. Was a really, really amazing coincidence. I was follow the Senji Yamamoto a few years before I arrived in Japan. For me, on the videos, of course, I didn't meet him before. On the videos, he was it's a alien, no? It's another planet's chef, no?
Yeah, I've seen the technique videos, the cooking videos.
Exactly.
Like,
it was.
It's the most technical thing I've seen in my life. It's so baroque, so over the top, more and more technique. Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't know if I can talk about smoke joint, but I remember I smoked a joint one night before going to the bed. And I was watching in my computer a video of Senji Yamamoto taking I think it was like amadai or some snapper, and he take out all the scales, he dry the scales, he fry, and he do like kind of panko just with the scale, and after take out the middle spine with a tube and fry and put again back in the raw meat, and after put it in the grill. Wow. The next day I wake and say, wow, that was real? It was real what I watched in this video.
Because he also makes like 3D animations to explain the processes of the spines of the fish and everything. Like, it's really, really crazy.
The crazy thing is that they actually do those techniques, you know, like, and I think the cool thing about that is that they take like traditional techniques and dishes, like, for example, like a grilled unagi, you know, and they do it kind of in a traditional way, but like thinking about every detail. And then they go in, they're sort of like, how do we fillet it? How do we cut, like taking like a tiny scissor, like crisscross cutting the bones, and like the way that they cut. I have like drawings in my notebook from there, because they cut the skin, but they cut it in like a different width, depending where on the skin it is. And it's crazy. They're so detail oriented.
Yeah, I remember Phil telling me that while he was in the restaurant, there are like these cameras to see the tables. And when he was watching your table, you were like looking at all the plates, the brands and everything, and being like really aware of everything around you.
Wow. For me, was eating in a Senji Yamamoto restaurant, 3 Michelin restaurant. I was so focused. I read all the politic in the website about the restaurant, and he said, I remember one politic say, it's better you don't use your cell phone to take pictures, because you can be a little bit tipsy and break some crockery, and these crockeries have many years. I say, well, okay, no phone, nothing, just focus, watching everything.
Phil, you told me a story of like a chef that broke a plate, and he was on his knees like saying, oh, sorry, please, like.
Yeah. I mean, the crockery in that restaurant was like, I remember we had these like really beautiful bowls. They're like quite famous for them. It had like Fujin and Raijin, the two like gods of thunder and wind, like painted on them. And we only had like 3 of them or something like that, you know, and it has like the bowl with the matching lid. And one day we went to a museum in Roppongi and we saw the same bowl like in the museum. And we were like, oh, okay. But exactly the same one, you know? And we're like, oh shit, you know? and yeah, like they were super, super strict. And yeah, like it was so funny when you came to eat because it was like, so Eric told me so spontaneously and I told the chefs and they were like, okay, all right. But they're like very reserved, you know, because they have so many like VIP guests coming in every day. And we had cameras on every table. There was a camera so that you could see what's going on every table.
Wow.
And so in the beginning, there was sort of like, yeah. Okay. Yeah, your friend's coming. All right. Okay, sure. And then you were sitting there and you were so focused. Like I could see like every time a dish came, you could just see how you were looking at it. You're really taking it in, the looks and the smelling and tasting each element. And I remember after like one or two dishes, the chefs, they were kind of like standing on the pass. You know how Japanese chefs are. They were kind of like, you know, a little bit arrogant. They're like, yeah, you know, they were looking at it. And after like 2 or 3 dishes, they came to me and they were like, who is this guy? You know, like, because they could see, you know, that you were really, really into it and really taking it very, very seriously and really had an interest and a respect for what was going on, you know.
I think it was, for me, one of the best culinary experience I get. I remember I think October or something similar, September, October, end of September. And I was lucky because you still have aju, the river fish.
Oh, yeah.
And also the last time and the last year, you get the eel, the unagi, more than 1 kilo because the government after was forbidden to catch wild eel. So I was so lucky because in this menu I tried both, the end of the summer aju and the beginning of the wild more than 1 kilo eels. Unagi was amazing.
Yeah, for me it was the best unagi I tried there. I don't know if you got the shio version or the shoyu version.
I don't remember exactly which one, but I think it was a shio version, the salty one. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm not really sure. I don't have picture to remember. So it was 10 years ago. So
these long menus are super hard to remember if you don't make pictures.
Yes, nowadays it's complicated.
Then you went to the Basque Culinary Center, and while studying there, you were working at a super standard sushi place here in San Sebastian. But I remember you told me that you were doing like super crazy things, like super high standard sushis there, just to practice, like working with super baby shrimps, peeling them one by one to make like a special of the day, and then trying to improve your own style. And so, can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I remember when I arrived in San Sebastian, I think it was Sebastian who recommended to contact with Kenji. Kenji, at this moment, he have a small sushi bar restaurant in Old Pad, where it's all the pinchos bar. Yeah,
it's basically a Japanese pincho bar, right? Like
exactly, but it's. I remember I arrived super Japanese, shaving me, everything was still with after 1 year working in Japan with only Japanese people around me.
That was fresh after Japan.
Exactly. Okay. For me, it was taking me like 3 months after Japan be back on me again, because I was maybe so Japanese.
Yeah, I had a similar experience after Mugaritz, like working in other places after Mugaritz. I had to like de-wash my brain, like to become normal again.
Exactly.
I had the same when I came back from Japan. I was like, I felt so culture shocked in a way. Like I went straight to like Belgium, I think, and then like to Paris. And I remember like bumping into somebody like on a square and being like, "Oh, gomenasai."
Exactly.
And because you're so in the zone,
Exactly. Well, even when you go in to eat in some restaurant like guest and you throw back to a waiter, you say torimas, back, like you are working in the kitchen, like you're still working in the kitchen. Yeah, it's a funny things.
Yeah.
And in San Sebastian with Kenji, it's a very simple sushi bar with more maybe I can say more American sushi.
Mm-hmm.
In the kitchen was working Hideki. He's a amazing Japanese chef and very good friend, and he makes some more like no sushi plate, but the sushi was very like more American. And so sometimes I get a guest who sit in front of me on the bar, and I can make like omakase experience. He say, okay, I make whatever you want, and I do like omakase in this moment, and I start to make my creativity with a Japanese technique and try to find a local fish. And I remember once we make a gunkan, who's a bowl of rice around seaweed, and I take at this moment in the fish market was in live shrimps, quisquillas, and we peel the quisquillas and we make a roll, move quisquillas, gunkan to the guest. What was amazing. It's just a little bit salt and lime, I remember. And yes, these kind of things.
If you could choose like 5 sushi dishes you've had or you made that you could say, wow, this was really memorable. Like, for instance, this one, getting such a special produce and making something that you can't really scale up. You can build a restaurant that produces this every day because it's so hard. Which would be your list of 5 in no order?
Wow, 5, I don't know if I have, but I have one I really like a lot. Of course, I don't think like I invent, because I think everything is almost invent. And it was a turbot nigiri and rodaballo.
Yeah.
Wild rodaballo nigiri. And on top is a special part in Japan they call engawa. So it's the fins around the fish. And of course, to make in my restaurant, I have 10 guests. For one fish, it's impossible to make a 10 piece of nigiri of engawa. So I need to choose who's going to eat engawa. So not choose, I make kobujime. It's a kind of technique where you put the fillet of the turbot, you wrap in the kombu and cure it for a few hours. I make a nigiri with this, and on top I get the engawa and grill engawa and put just a small piece of engawa on top. So I mix turbot with the engawa with the grilled thin of the fish on top. This is one of my favorites.
It sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing, yeah. Like the curing with kombu and then grilling sounds really, really nice.
Yeah, it's a type of technique they normally use for this type of fish. I think it's one of the fish with very elegant and light taste, and also a little bit hard texture. And this technique, I think, increase. So first, the salt of the seaweed take out the excess of water and increase concentrate the fat of the meat, and after pass all the umami and sea taste to the meat without kill the proper taste of the fish. And the result is amazing texture with very nice and elegant sea taste of the fish.
Then I remember I was living with a friend, and we had a visit from a cook that came from Chile, and he came to make a cooking course at the Basque Culinary Center with you as a professor for a special sushi course. And I remember the guy telling me about how impressed he was about you butchering an eel with this technique where you put like a nail in the eye and then you clean the thing. And can you tell us about this whole world of fish butchering? I know you also worked at Poniente. You're probably also interested in the work of Josh Neelan, all
yes,
this
totally.
world of fish pieces and everything. What can you tell us about that?
Yes, I remember teaching in a Basque Culinary Center. It was an intense course of 5 days. So I try to teach the most I can to the professional, because they are already our chef or they are owner of the sushi restaurant. And I remember one part of the teaching was fillet fish. So all this type of and different way how you can cut and fillet, for example, a sea bream, how you fillet a flat fish like turbot, or how you fillet the eel, the unagi. The unagi you need to fillet when it's still in life, because when it's dead, it's a rigor mortis, no? It's a
the shape becomes stiff,
and exactly it's not straight. It's impossible to fillet a unagi with a rigor mortis. That's why you need to cut in life. And this was very interesting. Every I think it was like a 20 person. They tried to fillet a unagi, a lot of blood everywhere. It was a little bit crazy, but this is in the same time is respect, no, from for the animal and for the product, no, is the best way how you can kill the fish and how you can process and prepare the fish. Was amazing experience.
And what about Oponiente? Does the work of Angel Leon has had some influence in your own work, or not so much?
Yes. In Oponiente, I just worked a short time, less than 3 months. Yes, I have some influence. I think Angel Leon is a very innovative chef. He has some product like plankton. I mean, the taste of plankton is amazing, and it's not really a plankton, no. It's just a few type of seaweed.
Of microalgae, right? Or
Exactly, microalgae, and tastes amazing. Tastes like you eat oyster or percebe.
Nice.
So have amazing seafood taste. And also the butchery, how they do chorizo with mullet. Mullet is, I think, not appreciate fish, no, where you see the mullet on the port, no? Where is the boat? Is always the people associate the mullet with the dirty waters, no? But it's a wild mullet are amazing fish, and this fish first he don't eat another fish. He just eat like a wilds just by filtration. And second is one of fish have a lot of % of fat. So it was amazing to make a butchery, a chorizo with this. And I remember we take the belly part cut in cubes and make like, when you open chorizo and you get this cube of fat, no?
Yeah, the white parts, right?
Exactly the same with this. I think it's not Japanese. It's a no Japanese kitchen, but I think I learned a lot how to use local fish and seafood, no? This is one of the challenge always for me, no? Mix Japanese technique with the local seafood and vegetable without change the tradition and the Japanese philosophy, no? So try to don't make a huge fusion, no? To change the tradition. For me, what I do is very simple, very focused in the quality of the product and the quality of the technique, and it's nothing else, no? I think it's the most complicated. Make something easy, nice, no? This is the complicated part for me.
Absolutely, yeah. You were also involved in fishing, if I'm not wrong.
I love to fishing, yes, and I have more into kayak fishing.
Okay,
but I have free time, not many, and I try to fish. Now is the squid season here in Ibiza, so I love to going to catch squid and this kind of thing.
But you use own catch product for your restaurant, or is it only for self-consumed?
It's just self-consumed.
Okay.
Yes, self-consumed. Also, first because I think it's not legal. need to pass from the cofradia first to make it legal.
Okay.
What you catch and sell in the restaurant, and second because when I start the restaurant, I don't have more time to go into fishing.
That was the end of the hobby.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's cool. Why. Yeah.
I wanted to jump into the more technical questions. Let's start with, let's go into rice. What would you say are the key things a chef should pay attention when cooking sushi rice? It's like the most key element, right? In sushi,
is the protagonist. Is the most important part of the sushi. Of course, sushi is just rice and vinegar. For me, the most important to make a nice rice is know your rice. Practice a lot with your rice. I think every rice is very different. Can be koshihikari rice, but koshihikari grown in California, or koshihikari grown in Niigata in Japan, or koshihikari grown here in Delta del Ebro in Spain.
What makes koshihikari special compared to other rice varieties?
I think for me, the koshihikari, I love the aroma of the rice, the side of the grain, the texture of the grain, and also I don't know how to say, how malleable can be in your hands when you work with this rice to make sushi.
Okay.
And what I mean, all the rice are different, so you just need to practice, no? Because it's not the same you cook a rice when it's just less than 1 year this rice was picked from the ground, and normally it's in autumn season, no? In October when they pick the rice, it's not the same this rice cooked in December and the same rice you cook in July, because it's getting in your storage, getting more dry. So we need more water, and also if depend what type of fish you use. So you change your seasoning, no? For example, when it's winter time, most of the fish are more fat, so you increase the acidity in your seasoning, no? To make the balance with the fat. And when it's summertime, you try to make more sweet your seasoning with a little bit more mirin. And all these minimal details on your rice, I think, affect the good result in the end. So first you need to know your rice, where it's coming from, how long is storage this rice, and all this thing after is the way how you cook, the instrument or the pot you use, the type of water you use, the time you soak in the water, with what type of water you soak this rice, and how many time you wash. Some rice need to wash less, because for the beginning, we think you need to wash more rice, more wash is better. I remember working in Nobu Tokyo, my rice never was the same for the itamai, for the head chef. And I ask, look, watching me, what I do wrong. And he watching me and he say, you wash too much the rice, wash less. Yeah, in the end it was true. So I think the most important is know your rice, know everything about your rice, and try to make better every time.
That's super interesting what you mentioned. We also talk about that on the sushi episode we made, that the seasoning is not, I mean, it depends on the fish and the season. So it can vary, like, depending on what you want to achieve. This is something a lot of people don't know. Well, I guess it's also difficult to learn how to calibrate that, right?
It's very complicated. Also nowadays they're using a lot around the world is akasu. It's a red rice vinegar. It's made with the lees of produced sake, with sake kasu, and it's a little bit more complex taste or aroma. But this vinegar is not matched really well with the white fish. So nowadays, is a few restaurants you can find the two type of vinegar, no? White vinegar with some fish, and akasu, the red vinegar with another fish, no? So the vinegar for me also is the seasoning is very important, not to the sushi.
I went to an omakase in Singapore recently, and it impressed me because I had never seen that the nigiris, like, the rice was already like seasoned with soy sauce, so it was kind of gray or brown, and I was like, oh, I've never seen this. Like, is that common or something super modern? Like, I don't know.
You mean without soy sauce? Right?
No, it was like, like a light brown rice, like the ones you would find like on a Chinese stir-fried, like.
Yeah, I think it's the akasu, the red rice vinegar.
Okay.
Exactly. Some of the chefs use 100% akasu, and the color is more like brown color.
That was probably it, yes.
It's very tasty, very complex.
I've seen a lot of chefs also experiment with the sugar.
Okay.
As in, like, not, like using sweetener or like a different sort of rock sugar to give it like a little bit more complexity. And I personally, I saw a few times where that where they were using white rice vinegar with like a little bit of like a darker sugar.
Okay.
And that would give the rice this like light brown color. And I thought it was quite nice. Like I went to one sushi place and they said they only use like almost like stevia, or like a, not stevia, but like an artificial sweetener, because they thought it was like more subtle.
Okay.
I thought it was quite interesting also. Yeah.
You know, stevia, you can find stevia in its natural form, which is a leaf. And if you powder the leaf, it's a sweetener.
It's amazing. I don't know. It depends. Every chef is a different world, though. And some chef now recently we travel to Japan and we eat in many omakase places. And some of the chefs even don't use sugar.
Okay.
They just use vinegar and salt, and the sushi is very sour. No, it's a very salty. More in Tokyo, no. Tokyo cuisine is more salty. And in Kansai area, like Osaka, Kyoto, is more sweet. And some chef even doesn't use sugar, just added mirin. So mirin is like, it's a type of sweet sake. And the hot mirin, the sweetness is coming from the fermentation process. No, it's not added sugar in the process. So every chef is different, and it depends also where they coming from and the style of sushi they service.
It's the small details, no? Yeah.
Your sushi ingredients, like, let's say, rice, mirin, soy sauce, and so on, is it always Japanese, or do you use also Spanish products?
I try to be more local as possible. I think in the fresh products, like fish and vegetables. All the other products I bring from Japan. Yes, the soy sauce, the vinegar, the rice. And yes, I bring it from Japan because here we have amazing rice. It's Akita Komachi. It's the second variety of rice more used in Japan to make sushi. And they grow in Delta del Ebro. And it's very good. But still not good as Koshi Hikari from Niigata, for example, or something like. So I wish in the future maybe we get amazing product too and be the most local possible. Even the wasabi, now they started growing wasabi here in Catalonia.
Yeah, Sebastian was also getting fresh wasabi here from Getaria. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's nice. Of course, it's not the Asumino wasabi, who is sweet in the end, very aromatic. But it's going in the good way. Maybe for some of the preparation I used to the Spanish wasabi. I like to be local as much as possible.
We talk about everything in the restaurant except for desserts. What do you offer to close the meal?
Okay, for the beginning, the restaurant. This is very complicated part because the desserts in Japan are very minimalist, simple, and very elegant. No, in the same way. And for a sushi omakase place, sometimes only dashi maki or atsuyaki tamago, or the tamago is the dessert for finish.
That's like a flan, like a sweet omelette, something like that.
It's like an omelette, no, like a flan, more like an omelette. And if depend, every chef have different. So one they wrap in like a dashi maki, they roll in like many crepes. Or sometimes they do a tsuyaki tamago. It's more like, and I say like a cake. And if depend, every chef have different way with the tamago. And also many restaurants they offer in the end fruit, some seasonal fruit like a pear or a piece of melon. Amazing, of course. I think the taste of the fruit.
Yeah, I guess if you have to do that, you have to have like an incredible melon.
Amazing,
right?
Amazing. I remember this last trip to Japan, I tried a grape. They say, wow, how they can make a grape so sweet.
Yeah, I know in Japan it's also very common. Like there are these trees where they cut all the flowers, so it grows just one fruit per tree.
Exactly.
So it's super strong, and it's very common to use this as a business present. So like, if you close a business, you bring someone like a melon or something like
exactly.
that.
Omiyage.
Omiyage, exactly.
So nice.
It's one melon can be sometimes €100, €300. Super amazing famous melons. Yeah. So in here in my restaurant, sometimes we make something simple like only tamago, or sometimes we make mochi. We start to make some handmade mochi with a glutinous rice flour dots, and we fill with the atsuki for the beginning with the anko, which is a red bean sweet paste.
Is it?
But it's complicated. Not all the guests finish these desserts.
Like the cultural acceptance, right?
Exactly. After we mix with white beans and matcha,
Is it?
it was a little bit more acceptable. And after we made inside with mousse, green tea mousse. That was okay. Now everyone finished dessert. They enjoy.
Yeah, I love desserts with matcha. There is this place in Barcelona, something Okiai. Okiai means pastry shop, right? Like
Yeah, Ochiai is the family name. Ochiai pastry. Yeah, they are one of the famous.
Yeah,
My style
like,
of mochi is very similar like Ochiai mochis.
they have this matcha tea croissants that are amazing.
Yeah. And nowadays we make a few ice cream with, for example, as spring we take a sakura leaf tree, and we make a ice cream with almond because it's the almond season here as well. And we mix the sakura tree leaf season Japan with almond tree here in Ibiza, and we make ice cream. And wow, it was amazing because remember me like a tonka beans a little bit.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, nowadays we do something like very simple. It's a very thin line being in the Japanese dessert and Western style dessert. So I try to don't going so far with this.
But it's nice that you also have the representation of the like the area where you're in and the season and stuff. And I like that there's like an overlap of sort of like, this, what you were saying earlier, this like Japanese, very strong idea of representing the seasons. And like some of my favorite restaurants, Japanese restaurants that I've seen outside of Japan, they were doing the same thing where they were, for example, in London,
Yeah.
Where they were doing very Japanese food, but with local seasonal influence, and I was always like, yeah, that's really, really true Japanese like mentality and spirits,
Yeah.
Really representing where they are in the time of the year, it's super nice.
It's very important in the Japanese cuisine. Yeah.
That's it for this week's episode of Potluck Food Talks. If you like what we're doing, make sure to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok as Potluck Food Talks. The show airs every Monday.